Hi there, welcome to 40 Lessons and 40 Years. My name is Boluwatife David, people call me Mr. Focus, and I am the People's Coach. Lesson 40. You don't start living until you know your why and until you start giving full expression to your why. One of the lessons I learned very early in life is the fact that our life is a sum total of how much of impact we are able to create in the life of others and in fact in the grand scheme of humanity. What you would recognize is that the people that we remember for the longest time are the people that have been able to create one form of impact or the other. For example, if I were to ask you if you know the name of your great-grandfather or your great-grandmother, I am sure you probably don't know their name. But if I ask you who invented the light bulb, I'm sure you know who that is. I'm sure if I also ask you who Nelson Mandela is, I'm sure you also know who that person is. The reason why we know these people, even though they are not our families, is because they lived a life of impact. In fact, one of the things you've come to realize is that if you want to beat mortality, all that you need to do is actually just live. Give expression to the full potentials of your life. Many years ago, there was a song released by Beyonce. It was titled I Was Here. When I heard the song, it resonated something deeper in me. How can somebody still be alive and she's saying I was here? The lyrics of that song says I lived, I loved, I was here. I've done everything that I thought I would do, and it was more than I thought it would be. My goodness, that song brought back to me the consciousness of living a life of impact. I know there are a lot of people out there that are still trying to figure out what their life is going to be, and maybe the best they've been able to do is to live just at the barest minimum of survival, or at the best of living a life of success where they just want to be able to afford all the things that they want in this life. But guess what? That is not how we live a life of impact. That is not how we etch our names in the sands of time. The only way to ensure that you build a legacy that transcends you, the only way you ensure that you have a transgenerational impact will be for you to move towards living the highest level of life, which is a life of significance. Stop getting worried about whether you're going to die today or tomorrow. Stop getting worried about what life is going to look like when you're gone. Focus your attention on living, and by that alone, you would be able to, if anything, live forever. This and all of the other lessons I've shared are the major things that I've learned over the last 40 years of my life, the lessons that are propelling me forward, and the lessons that are forming the foundation for the next 40 years of my life. You know the way they say it, that indeed life begins at 40. I've lived the last 40 years learning and building, but from this moment forward, we begin to push the message of the focus life. I challenge you today to start living the focus life. Make your life count. Edge your name in the sands of time and beat mortality.